welcome to Women in the FORE. I am Ezerina Kamaliza. This is a program that we talk to women that have achieved various things in their lives and just trying to inspire other young women to pursue their dreams and reach whatever goals they have. And in today's program, I'm joined by Susan Sirika. She's the head of finance at Campaign for Female Education, CAMFED. Welcome to the program.
Thank you, Serena.
For starters, who is Susan Sirika?
Susan Sirika is a daughter, is a wife. I'm Mrs. Susan Sirika. I'm married to Henry Sirika, and together we've got 2 children. Apart from that, I'm a daughter of the Most High God. That's the first thing. But
Yes.
that's the heart that I love to weigh a lot. I love the Lord and I love to serve Him. I love to live life as He has designed it for me, and I proudly do so. Apart from that, as you already said, I'm working. I'm an accountant by profession, so I work as a head of finance for an NGO, an non-governmental organization called Campaign for Female Education, which deals mostly with girls' education. I come from my mother comes from Cholo, and my father comes from Mwanza. My maiden name is Mariani, so I'm Susan Mariani Sirika.
Mrs. Sirika.
Mrs. Sirika, yes, thanks.
All right. What was life like growing up, being a young girl? Did you envision yourself being an accountant, heading finance at an NGO?
Growing up, I never knew I would be an accountant. I grew up with my mother. She's a teacher by profession. We grew up in Chilobo. I call myself a ghetto child. My mother's background, family, most of them in the family are medics. So my grandparents were medical people. They even had a private clinic whilst we were growing up. So when we were growing up, mostly what we saw was all medical profession. So they were clinic officers, nurses. Yeah. So that's what we knew. That's what I knew, and that's what I was aiming for. I had a happy childhood. I grew up between my mother and my grandparents. And so along the way, I remember, I think around when I was in secondary school, one person who changed outlook in my life a lot came to me and said, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" And I said, "I will be a medical person." I says like what? I says like a nurse, and or a doctor. And he says, "You know what? You are very bright. Do you know that you can be anything else apart from a nurse?" And she was an accountant. I was like, "What? Is there anything else apart from medics?" And she says, "Yes, you can be an accountant like me, and I'll work through with you so that you'll be able to achieve this." And that opened possibilities for me. That was a turning point in my life, and here we are. The rest, as they say, is history. Yes.
You have mentioned of this lady who spoke to you. How important is it for young girls or young women to be exposed to people who can mentor them or tell them about different things than what they have thought of?
Yes. I've discovered a lot in my work and also in my personal ministry, which I'll talk about, that there is really a lot that can happen in role modeling, in power of mentoring someone, in power of not only living for yourself but influencing other girls. There's a lot of information gap in the society, especially when girls are growing up, or youth generally are growing up. There's a lot of gaps, and so most of the times they make information without full information. They make decisions without full information. So when someone comes to them and says, "No, this is the way, you should go in this way," or "This is what you can be," or "This is," like, just to motivate them, it opens them up to a world of possibilities that never even thought they would imagine. They never thought they would see it within their families and also maybe within their societies. So yes, I believe a lot in the power of role modeling and being able to live for others.
You have mentioned of your work in ministry. What was your motivation? I know so many people, most of us, we say we're God's children, we go to church, we worship, but what motivated you to be so attached to ministry?
All right, okay. I must hasten to say that I am serving God through a ministry called Student Christian Organization of Malawi. In short, we call it SCOM. SCOM is an international organization, mostly in secondary schools, but also in universities. And the key main aim is to call students to a personal faith in God the Father, and also to help them, to disciple them, to drill them to walk in Him. Eventually, at the end of the day, it is about making them to be responsible members of the church. In Malawi, SCOM has really had a very huge impact as a nursery ground, as a training ground, as most of the times where people met Christ when they went to secondary schools, and if you see a lot of people nowadays, you ask them, they will tell you it is SCOM that shaped their life. So my husband is the one who introduced me to full-time serving God through the ministry of SCOM. So what we normally do is, like, as we said, power of role modeling. We go out every weekends, every other, we organize conferences for students on a voluntary basis to be able to motivate the youth in this ministry. My motivation mostly comes from Acts 20, verse 24, which says, "My life is worth nothing unless I live it to do the work that God told me to do, the work of telling others about the good news of Jesus Christ." That's my motto. I live to tell others about the good news about Jesus Christ. And not only that, in Matthew 9, verse 36, it says, Jesus looked at the crowd and he was very sad. They were like, he says he looked at them, they were hopeless, they were like sheep without a shepherd. In Malawi, at secondary school level, that's where most decisions that break or make your life are made. When the teenagers are at that stage. If you go to secondary schools, nowadays they are struggling with a lot of issues, drug abuse, premarital pregnancies for girls. This is the stage where, if you're not, if you don't guide them properly, this is the stage that will lose them. So I like to pour my life at that particular stage where we shape the youth of Malawi to be able to become responsible members of the church.
How was it like starting out in ministry? You know, people have their stories. Some feel like, okay, I should go out, maybe speak at a conference. I wouldn't do that. I should go and reach out to a group of young people and talk to them about Christ, Mwina Manyazi, and so many other issues. How was it like for you?
For me, I've always been an outspoken person. So I think it was easy, and also because of the passion. Because in SCOM, it's not about how well you can speak; it's about be able to go out and pour yourself out to them, share your life. As I said, we go out every other weekend. We go to the students in the remote areas, and because of the passion that is there, it just flows nicely. You just sit, you just chat, you just be there for them. SCOM mostly we focus on just being there for them. And little by little, as you go, you start getting some confidence, and then you can even stand in front of the groups. I must say, SCOM has shaped me even in public speaking. Nowadays, I can even, on my own personal behalf, I can even stand on platforms. I've been doing motivation talks, not only through SCOM, but also through churches, not on a SCOM platform only, but through churches as well. Motivation talks, just like for my work. I was also sometimes just stand. That has come through SCOM because it comes gradually, but mostly it stems from the passion to be able to talk to someone. Yes.
Coming back to your career, your journey in finance and accounting, how has the journey been like? getting to the point where as a woman heading the finances of an institution, what was it like starting out from college to starting work and everything?
Okay, all right. Thanks. My career has been, I call it long, slow. There was times like, okay, I think I'm not moving as fast as I should. Yeah. But just a brief background is that I trained through the Malawi College of University of Malawi in Malawi Polytechnic. That's where I got my first degree in business administration. We also majored a little bit in accounting there. Then after I finished, I enrolled with a UK body called the Chartered Institute of Management Accountant. So as I'm a chartered management accountant. I qualified, I think, in around 2008. Thereafter, I've been working in several capacities. I worked for a telecommunication company as a management trainee, and I remember one of the key things I've learned in my career is don't mind where you start from. Start small. I remember when we were starting in as management trainees, when we were coming from college, we were thinking we'll go there and be bosses immediately. No. And then we were told to go somewhere like to a customer care center to be able to sell airtime. It was a telecommunication guy to sell airtime. I was like, what? I'm just coming from college. But I've discovered that every organization that I go to, you start small. Even when I went to a manufacturing company, I was going out to buy like these raw materials in the field. And already that time I was already a chartered management accountant. But my boss told me, I remember I had a Zimbabwe boss that time, and he says, you know what, when you go into an institution, start small, learn everything that is happening in that organization. Don't just think you start from far. So as I said, God has taken me through a long, winding route, but everything works together for our good. Key things I've learned is that in finance, you have to be accountable. You have integrity. You have to have really teamwork, work with others. And as I said, be humble. You will learn a lot. Even from the lowest person in the organization, you'll be able to learn a lot. And even now, as I'm here now, I don't only limit myself to finance issues. If you come, sometimes you see me at work, you not think I'm a finance person, you think I'm a programs person. So you have to learn also what the organization is doing as well, not just limit yourself. So basically that has been my journey in finance. Long winding road, but here I am. God wanted me to take that road, and I've learned a lot of lessons. And that's another key thing. Everything that has happened, learn something from it and build it on your next step.
What would be your words to young women that maybe are just starting out in their careers? They have just graduated, or some are still looking to pursue their education. When they get jobs, as you're saying, small jobs, they'll be like, I think maybe this is not meant for me. It seems like there's no way I would get to any other position than where I am. Maybe I should just give up on this thing. What would you tell them?
No, I would say don't give up. Be focused, be determined, and hard work pays a lot. People will be able to note you wherever you are. Whatever job you are given, do it. Work as unto the Lord. Do it with all your might, and start small. As I said, we don't start from the top. We start from and work ourselves up. So be determined, be focused, set your goals. What is it that you want, and then work towards it. It might sometimes look like it's taking long, but really persevere and stay the route. You eventually get to where you want.
Continuing with our program, I'm talking to Susan Sirika. She's the Campaign for Female Education Campaigns head of finance. I hope you're being inspired as much as I am. Stay tuned as we continue with Women in the FORE.
Matrimony involves a lot. From the vows, then the reception, and then the budget. But what if you could have your dream wedding for free? The entire ceremony, reception, venue, catering, everything for free. Yes, for free. Ukwatiwanga. Win your dream wedding with Amaryllis Hotel and Times TV. Simply register your name by collecting registration forms at Times Group offices in Blantyre, Lilongwe, Nsuzu, and Zomba, and Amaryllis Hotel in Blantyre, or download the registration form on www.times.mw or www.amarylishotels.com. Registrants must be 21 years or older and preparing for their first wedding. Ukwatiwanga. Win your dream wedding with Amaryllis Hotel and Times TV. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back to Women in the FORE. Today I am talking to Susan Silika. She's the head of finance at CAMFED. We'll continue with the program, Susan. You've spoken so much of your journey in ministry and your career. Have you met any challenges that where you felt this thing maybe might not make me move on in any way at this point?
Yes. Life is full of challenges, yes. And I think it's how we look at them, how we overcome. One of the key ones would be growing up as a girl child has got its own challenges in the context of Malawi setup. The girl child mostly is looked down, is not given a chance that they'll go far in life, doesn't have role models. That was me growing up. As I said, I grew up in the ghetto in Chirobwe. You know, all we know is go play out and what have you. But I thank God of because of the role models that were there for me, and one of them was my mother, who believed in the power of education, and she made sure that at an early stage I should be able to get education. She would send me to part-time school, protect me from all the things that would take up my time a lot, so that I go to school. And then later on when I met someone else. But even nowadays, as a woman, people don't just give you a chance like that. People think that women get it easy on a silver plate, but no, we have to work our way out. You come into a room and people are like, oh, you've come alone. Oh, there's no guy with you. There's no... So all that kind of looking down on you. But sometimes, as I said, you have to put your foot down and show what you also made, that you can also do it. And that's what I've been doing. So little by little, warming your way up, and people also getting to understand that you can also do it as they are doing it. Yeah.
So many women have also been taken back that they have made some progress in their career, but they get to a point where men are looking down on them, like you have said, and they feel, even fellow women looking down on them, they feel like, okay, maybe I can't progress because the environment is not suitable for me. What are some of the tips you can give to such women?
Yes, as I said, women generally are marginalized, and I thank God for so many other institutions that are coming up to say, let's bring up this girl child a lot. It's really helping to bring confidence and also to make sure that to show the girls that they can do it. Some of the tips, as I've already said, is that you need to prove your worth. You don't have to go there and start crying, oh, you're doing this because... No, go in and do your worth. Prove your worth. That's one of the key things I've already... Work hard like everyone else. Don't think you'll be given a special treatment. No. Work hard, prove your worth. And then everyone else was like, oh, okay, yes. This one can also do it. Yeah.
What are some of your achievements? We've spoken of the challenges, but what are some of the things that when they happened, you felt, wow, I've made it?
Wow. Yes, one of them is my career, my work, what I've been able to achieve, my education qualification. Recently, I managed to attain a master's degree in business administration. That's one of my proud moments. I've just got one more to go, because I remember when I was in, this person was motivating me and said, I want to be a doctor. She said, you can be a doctor, but in any field. So that's where I'm going. So I told one of my sisters this, and she keeps telling me, oh, your time is running out. You need to be a doctor. That's where I want to go. So my career-wise and qualification-wise, I thank God I am where I am now. It's the biggest achievement coming from where I'm coming from. Other thing that I feel like I've really achieved much, as I said, I want to live for Christ.
Yeah.
I want to live for others. And I've really done this in so many ways, through the work of SCOM, through motivation talks that I've been having with girls, even just being there for others. People sometimes ask me, how do you even do it? Combine all the things that you do. I said, grace is sufficient, but there's nothing that makes me so happy as to have been able to be there for someone. When someone comes to me, a young girl, and says, because you came, because you talked to me, on this other day, look here where I am. When I go to colleges, I also go to colleges for motivation talks, and this girl would come and say, do you remember, you came to Kuala CDSS, you talked to me and changed me. And even when I saw you there, standing there, the motivation, just the motivation, being a role model there. So that also gives me great satisfaction to the glory of God.
Yeah. Well, where do you want to be in the future? You've mentioned, of course, wanting to get a doctorate degree.
Yes. Doctorate is the first step. But apart from that, I want to open a one-stop center. I've really already started working towards it a bit. But what I want to come up with is an organization sort of, or a platform where girls or even youth can come there and be helped. I'll combine it a bit with also a bit of a commercial way, because naturally my talent is events management. Give me an event, corporate, family knows that I am the events manager. So I want to do that on a commercial basis, plus also use the process there. As I said, we don't live for ourselves. I want to use that to be able to reach out to more girls, more youth, to be able to come in and do some activities, things that would be role modeling for them, as I said. So one part of it will be financing the other part. That's my dream, and it's not only a dream. When I close my eyes, it's a dream. But even when I open my eyes, I see it. So it's not a dream. So it's going to happen very soon, God willing. And I must say that my work now, as I said, I work for an organization that deals with girls' education, has also given me a little bit of how best we can do this. My work and ministry sometimes interlinks, and I thank God for that. I like this phase of my life, and when I move on, when God says move on, that's where I am going. It's a dream that I have, to be able to open a center where girls can come in and be motivated, have role models, and then be able to achieve what God has put in their lives. Yes.
You said you were married earlier on as we were starting on the program. How do you put out your time to take care of your family, your children, your husband, and also to run your job, be in ministry, do all the other side things that you do?
Yeah. Thanks. It's about time planning. Plan your time well. And I thank God that some of these things are easier for me because I'm serving together with my family. As for me and my house, we serve the Lord. As I said, it's my husband who introduced me to this ministry, and everywhere, most of the times we are together, including the children as well. So it's like we're serving, but also having quality time together instead of neglecting. So where possible, my advice is for those in ministry, in work, and what have you, where possible, if you can get them, if you can include your family in part of what you are, it will be very, very easy for you. And also, if you have a supportive family and husband who will tell you, who will allow you, if you just say, oh, this person needs me, they are okay with that because they understand what the calling is on your life. That also helps a lot. But above all, the strong support system. I've got a strong support system in my immediate family, in my mother's family, in my father's family, in my husband's family, all over, and I thank God really for that. Yes, they understand who I am, yes, and what I do. Yes, thanks.
Well, as we are winding up the program, I wish we would talk more about everything. What is the advice that you can give to young women that envision also maybe becoming an accountant or someone working in finance someday, and also being able to live their life, giving back to the community, and also showing what other gifts they have? What would you tell them?
All right. Thank you. My advice to a young girl out there is that the sky is the limit. You can be whatever you want to be. If you want to be an accountant, yes, you can be an accountant. There are so many institutions that are offering finance courses. University of Malawi, Malawi College of Accountancy. You get a role model, get someone who has done it before. I am a role model for you. You can contact me. I'll be able to take you through what it means to become an accountant, or anything else that you set your heart to do, you can do. Believe in yourself. There will be obstacles. People will tell you cannot do it, but yes, you can do it. You can be able to achieve. So long as you set your mind, you focus, you persevere, and you're determined, you get what you want. And to everyone else out there, God blesses us to be a blessing to others. We should not live our life for ourselves. When some of us will see where we're coming from, we see it's only God. And let's be used as channels. We can serve wherever we can through ministries like SCOM I've talked about. But even on our personal basis, just putting yourself out there. Girl, child, the youth out there needs role models, needs someone to tell them, yes, you can do this. So there are so many things we can do to give back to the society, to give back to God what he has done for us. So let's not just live for ourselves. We should be able to live for others.
Thank you so much for making it to the program.
Thank you for having me here. Thank you. It was a pleasure. Thank you.
I appreciate.
Thank you.
Well, that's how we've had it for Women in the FORE this week. We were talking to Susan Sirika. She's the head of finance at Campaign for Female Education, CAMFED. I hope you've been inspired. Being an accounting person, she says, if you want to go in this field of finance and accounting, accountability and integrity are key. But in general, believe in yourself and also use your God-given talents to work for others. You have been with me, Ezelina Kamaliza. Stay tuned.